For the past few months, I've been trying to think of a creative project for me to get stuck into. I got a new full-time big boy job a few months ago, and it's taken away a lot of my do-nothing time. So now my spare time is actually valuable, and I want to start getting into some creative projects. I want to get into video essays, but thinking of a topic quickly made me feel like every second I spent was being wasted in this lifelong cycle of what feels like endless doubt in one's own abilities. Am I doing the right things? Am I striving for the right career? When will Dad come home? How long should it take before I get that thing checked out? And so the other day I had an idea inspired by another YouTuber, who we'll talk about a bit later, and I decided that, you know what? I'm just going to talk about stuff that I've liked over the past month. And by the past month, I actually mean like a couple months ago, because it really did take me way longer to write this than I originally anticipated. So with that, let's take a look at Like everyone on this and nearby planets, I've been playing Elden Ring. If you come from a different galaxy, let me briefly explain. Elden Ring is the latest From Software title that hails from the creators of such dark fantasy self-inflicted torture simulators as Elden Ring is different, and the same as its predecessors. It takes some of the best parts of each and blends it into a big, bright and dark new open world, the lands between. Part RPG, part action-adventure, part tear-inducer, Elden Ring is your journey as a tarnished adventurer who must become the Elden Lord to bring order to the lands between. Or something.
Why don't you explain this to me like I am an 8-year-old?
I don't actually really know. The game's story, much like other FromSoft games, requires a surgeon's attention or Vati Vidya to understand what's going on.
Why don't you explain this to me like I'm 5?
But for me, that didn't really matter at all, because I can just watch a Vati video and have all of that stuff explained to me. This was a game that for a few months felt like home. I started off spending hours every night looking for a hidden dungeon or googling where some cool armor was that I saw someone else wearing in a video. One of my favourite aspects of the game is fashion souls. Being able to create guts from Berserk or be a wolf man or just a complete abomination. This and the many side quests to help, hinder or just kill certain NPCs helps to make it feel like a lot more of a personal journey. I watched so many videos of people playing this game on YouTube or Twitch. For a few months, Elden Ring was literally all I could think about. And as I began to draw closer to the end, the hours and hours that I would spend every night would turn into maybe just a few hours split between a few days of the week. I didn't want this to end, and I'd savor every minute I could in whatever capacity. I am eternally grateful that I know people online who I could talk to about Elden Ring. The long nights I would spend on Discord where I'd stream it to friends who would mock every single death. But you know what, I appreciated it, as I really didn't fancy having to corner someone at my job to talk about how I'd let Melania step on me. It's by no means a perfect game, but everything I could say would only be minor issues. I recently beat the game, and just playing it again for this video has been like walking through a door to a warm hug. Thank you, Elden Ring. Guardians of the Galaxy dropped on Xbox Game Pass a couple months ago, and while it wasn't a game that I was particularly excited about, I did hear from a few people on Twitter that they'd really enjoyed the story and spoke about how funny it could be. And I do like me some funny, and I really like me some free.
most real, authentic, hysterical laugh of my entire life, because that is not a plan.
So download it I did, and I'm about maybe a third of the way through, and what I've played so far is pretty great. The music of which I can't play here is stellar. It keeps the 80s themes of the films with some fantastic choices of licensed music, and a choice for non-licensed music for people that stream or make videos like this. And I've honestly not listened to it, but I'm sure it's cool. So, we've established that the music is cool, but what about the story so far? So, from what I've established so far, is Quill/Star-Lord and his team of mercenaries are doing the mercenary thing and looking for a way to make some cash. They try to capture a rare monster in order to sell it to their patron, Lady Hellbender. What a name. Obviously things go wrong. There's a gem involved that of course releases some weird alien thing, and the team are captured by the Nova Corps, who are like the space police. But luckily, Quill/Star-Lord, the lovable scamp, had a thing with Captain Corell, and so she obviously lets them go after Quill/Star-Lord saves her daughter, and instead of imprisoning them, just leaves them with a fat fine. So now they're going to pay this fine, and they reckon that the best way to do this is to dupe their patron, Lady Hellbender, and oh my god, hijinks clearly ensues, and can we talk about Teenage Quill's bedroom? Some of my favourite moments in games are where you get to learn about a character visually through experiencing their home. One of my favourites is this moment in Uncharted 4. After you come back from a diving expedition where it's revealed he's not actually exploring for hidden artifacts, but is now working for a salvage company in urban America. After this section, you're introduced to Nathan Drake's home, which is covered in photos framed of Nate and Elena's trips around the world, their lived-in bedroom, Nate's hideaway attic, and their communal living space. It shows what is important to Nate and also provides a sense of comfort. I've completed this game close to 10 times, and that's just because I love these sections, and in Guardians of the Galaxy, you get to experience Quill's home before he gets taken, and becomes the Star-Lord we now know. Living in a classic American basement bedroom filled with posters, magazines, and a guitar, and I just want these people's lives. And maybe I do need to actually listen to my mum and grow up. Anyway, existential crisis aside, I really do love these moments, and I could and maybe will write up an entire video just on sections like these in games. That brings us to the combat. And I really don't think I'm going to linger too much on this, because that aside, I'm really enjoying Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and look forward to seeing what more it has to offer, but I've now spoken enough about this, and this video is getting longer than I expected, and if I wanted to ever get published, I'm gonna need to talk about
You got the pool in the bag, I got a pot of snow, you got a city to map, I'm a mirage of the roads.
I've been a fan of anime for a while, but it's always been something I've dipped in and out of watching, until this year. Which means that my tear ducts have been working overtime, because it turns out that nothing hits me more in the feels than anime. Romantic comedy anime just hits different, okay? Fruits Basket really just got me. It's a really good show, guys. Demon Slayer is the story of a boy called Tanjiro, whose family is one day brutally murdered while he's away from his home. Well, all his family except his sister. But she's kind of, changed. Without spoiling too much, his sister becomes a good demon, and Tanjiro dedicates his life to going after bad demons. This sounds like a pretty simple premise. Well, it is. But one of the reasons I, like many others, got into Demon Slayer was because of its gorgeous art style, blending light and heavy angular lines with vibrant colours and fantastic character designs. I even made an AMV of it that's on this very channel, and you can catch it in all of its 420p glory because I messed up when exporting it. I soared through Season 1 in my final year of uni while trapped inside due to the outbreak of this little thing called COVID. So last July in the UK, the movie titled Mugen Train came out, and then the second season, named the Entertainment District arc, released its final episode in February 2022. And with me just coming back into anime again, this was like a buffet to sink my weeby teeth into. The Mugen Train movie was not what I'd come to expect from an anime film. It did incredibly well at the box office, which is something that was unheard of to me, and so I went in with the mindset that if I just saw some cool visuals, I'd be happy. I was used to filler films like those of Naruto, one of which was also set on a train. But thankfully this was very different. The film shows us just how powerful the demons can be, and whilst mostly centered on the three main characters, it's also focused on the Hashira Kyojuro Rengoku. While the second series, titled the Entertainment District arc, slowly builds on showing the power of the upper six demons, and once again having a focus on a different Hashira, Tengen Tengen, who looks like this, has 3 wives, and likes it when things are flashy.
You both look as flashy as ever.
I'm a big fan. If you're looking for an easy watch with beautiful animation, some of the best combat sequences I've seen animated, the odd tear, and a boy who is at his most powerful when he's asleep, I highly recommend Demon Slayer. I like more than just fighting though, you know, I've got feelings too. I cried more than a few times at Demon Slayer. Good times. I actually love romance-based movies and anime. My favourite Ghibli film is Ocean Waves, for crying out loud. So when I found out that there was a series whose entire premise is 2 high school students who are battling to get the other to confess their love for them, something I felt hard in my adolescence, I had to obviously check it out. And this is how I became obsessed with
Love is war, love is war, love is war. Love is war, love is war, love is war.
Love is War hits home. It captures a lot of what I was like in my shy early teens. Liking girls and feeling like the cool thing to do was to not let them know and hope that they would approach me first. Which, as you can imagine, it really helped to build up my confidence. Yeah, teen me had a lot to learn, much like present me, now that I think about it. Kaguya-sama Love is War was the anime I never knew I desired. I binged through the first 2 seasons over a long weekend, and it's revealed something that was hidden deep down inside of me, and that is that I love romance-based anime. Love is War is the perfect title for this series. It brings a competitive spin to the rom-com genre, but unlike your standard rom-com, where it lasts 90 minutes and finally you get to the end and everything wraps up simple and clean, well, don't expect that here, pal. Going into the series, I had an idea of the general premise, and I was worried that the constant back and forth would get stale, but Love is War never gets stale. One of my favourite things the series does is use its inner monologue narration with such creative visuals, making these moments feel a lot more dynamic, keeping the show feeling exciting and engaging for the full 24-minute journey. The series will make you laugh at the, quite frankly, very relatable, yet exaggerated scenarios where the 2 lovelorn teens compete to make the other slip up with a gesture that clearly implies that they love the other. For example, in this scene where Kaguya decides to get her nails done, something she's never considered doing before, she wonders if Miyuki will notice, and if he does, surely that means that he does indeed like her. She has an internal struggle as to whether this will in fact give away that she has done this to be noticed by him, but she gives in, and in a very obvious fashion does this. Miyuki doesn't pay much attention at all. Or does he? Miyuki knows full well that this is not normal behaviour by Kaguya, but what does he do? Does he compliment her nails, revealing that he might actually take note of what she does and wears? This could make him look pervy, or even worse.
You really are quite cute.
But if he doesn't, will she think he has no interest? I won't spoil the episode, but the end result of this chapter is indeed
Quite cute.
Love is War will take you back to your high school days that were so full of awkward fumblings of situations involving the person that you fawned over. We've all been there and had those moments. Every one of us was awkward. We've all of us have struggled with these things, haven't we? But what's really special is that gradually we learn more about the characters and how each one develops, and the rare moments where Kaguya or Miyuki just let up. It's special, and it's heartwarming, and it's these moments that really pull you deeper into their relationship. The moments they let their shields down, and instead of overthinking, they just let something happen. So, we're getting to the end of the video now, and we're probably all tired of hearing me blabber on about whatever I've been talking about for the past 15 minutes. Ah, shut up, dude. Okay, we're doing Miscellaneous Talk. Here we go. Do you like music? Me too. One artist I've been annoying my friends with by playing on repeat is Pool Boy, and we're listening to his track Shooting Parks right now. As far as I'm aware, he's exclusively on SoundCloud, which I will link in the description. I found Pool Boy through a different boy who makes video essays and was the inspiration for this exact video. We saw him at the start, and I am talking about the one and only Super Eyepatch Wolf. Not only am I jealous of his accent, looks and eloquent way of writing, but also his eloquent way of writing. If you're into the things I've been talking about and hearing deep dives into the internet phenomena of things like The Simpsons, then a great starting point is his video, The Bizarre Modern Reality of The Simpsons. I also got into a manga recently, and yes, I'm a basic bitch and have only just gotten into this one. It's Berserk. After beating Elden Ring and hearing how much this manga influenced From Software in general, I had to pick it up, and now a month later I've nearly finished it. And it is shocking and insane and emotional and terrifying, and it's the best thing I've ever read. There's an anime too, but I've barely started that as I made a promise to finish the books before deep diving into that. But I've heard that the 97 anime is the way to go. And I think that's it. It's over. It's taken me over a month to write this, and as this was supposed to be about a particular month, I will let you do the maths of why I haven't said what month this was supposed to be about. This has really been a lot of fun to make, and I've got a lot of ideas for videos in the future. If you've got this far, then honestly, thanks so much. This was literally meant to be a 10-minute long video, tops. If you do have any ideas of things that you'd like to hear me talk about, maybe drop a little comment, and yeah, thanks again for watching.